Every year, thousands of Canadians hand over more money to CRA than they legally have to, simply because they didn't know better. They saved, they invested, they planned for retirement. But when it came to taxes, they left the strategy out of the conversation. And here's the truth. The Canadian tax system is built with rules that can work for you or against you. The difference? Whether you use those rules to your advantage or ignore them and pay the price. This isn't about loopholes. It's about knowing the right moves at the right time to legally reduce your tax bill and keep more of your money working for you. So if you're a Canadian retiree or close to becoming one and you want to stop leaving money on the table, this is the video for you. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Danny Perro, Senior Investment Advisor at CG Wealth Management. Whether you're still working, approaching retirement, or already there, taxes are one of the most significant threats to your long-term wealth. But the solution isn't just to earn more or save more. It's to keep more of what you already have. In this video, I'm breaking down a few smart legal strategies that Canadians can use to reduce their tax bill without cutting corners or taking unnecessary risks. Let's talk about how to pay less in retirement legally, ethically, and strategically. Strategy number 1, use TFSAs the right way. The tax-free savings account is one of the most misunderstood tools in Canada. Most people hear the word savings and assume it's just a glorified cash account, but that mindset could cost you thousands in tax-free growth. Here's what a TFSA really is. It's a tax-sheltered investment vehicle that allows your money to grow and be withdrawn entirely tax-free. That means no tax on interest, no tax on dividends, no tax on capital gains, and no tax on withdrawals. More importantly, TFSA withdrawals don't count as income, so they don't affect your eligibility for government benefits like OAS or GIS. That's a major strategic advantage in retirement income planning. But here's the mistake I see too often. Retirees use their TFSA like a parking lot for cash, earning 1 or 2% instead of holding growth-oriented investments that can compound over time. The better strategy? Use your TFSAs to hold high-quality dividend-paying stocks, growth-oriented ETFs, and other long-term assets that benefit from tax-free compounding. And in retirement, use withdrawals strategically in high-income years to manage your marginal tax rate and avoid clawbacks. This isn't just about saving on taxes. It's about giving yourself a flexible, tax-efficient income stream you can tap into at any time without triggering a CRA penalty. Strategy number 2, coordinate RSP and WIF withdrawals intentionally. The RSP is a powerful tool for building retirement savings, but if you don't plan your withdrawals carefully, it can turn into a tax trap later in life. Here's how it happens. For example, at age 71, the government requires you to convert your RSP to a RRIF. And once that happens, mandatory withdrawals begin at 72, whether you need the money or not. Those withdrawals are fully taxable as income. So if you've been deferring everything, thinking you're saving tax, you might be in for a surprise, because suddenly, you're being forced to withdraw more than you want during the highest income years of your retirement. Worse, that income could push you into a higher tax bracket or trigger old age security clawbacks. Here's the smarter move. Start planning RSP or RRIF withdrawals well before age 71. If you have lower income years in your 60s, especially if you retire before taking CPP or OAS, use that window. Draw down your RSPs at a lower tax rate, even out your taxable income over time, and even delay CPP and OAS to increase those benefits later. This strategy is sometimes called early RSP melting, which can reduce the size required for withdrawals, lower your tax lifetime bill, and improve sustainability of your retirement income. The bottom line, RSPs are great for deferring tax, but without a withdrawal plan, they can backfire in retirement. Strategy number 3, split income with your spouse. If you're married or in a common law relationship, the CRA gives you a powerful advantage, the ability to split certain types of income between spouses to reduce your overall tax bill. Why is this important? Because Canada uses a progressive tax system. That means the more you make, the higher percentage you pay in tax. So if one spouse earns $90,000 and the other earns $30,000, the higher earning spouse is being taxed at a significantly higher marginal tax rate. But by using income splitting strategies, you can spread the taxable income more evenly, keeping more of your combined income in lower tax brackets. There are a few ways to do this. Number 1, pension income splitting. If you're receiving eligible pension income like RRIF withdrawals or defined benefit pension income, you can split up to 50% of it with your spouse at tax time. Number 2, spousal RSPs. Before retirement, higher income spouses can contribute to a spousal RSP. When the lower income spouse withdraws the funds in retirement, the tax burden is lower. Number 3, CPP pension sharing. You can apply to split CPP income between spouses to equalize income levels and reduce your household tax bill. This doesn't reduce the total amount of income. It just ensures that income is taxed more efficiently, which can result in thousands saved per year. And over the course of retirement, that's a lot. Strategy number 4, be strategic strategic with non-registered accounts. When it comes to investments, most people focus on what they own. But in retirement, where you hold your investments can be just as important. This is where asset allocation comes in. Let's break this down. If you're non-registered, quote, taxable account, not all investment income is taxed the same way. For example, interest income is taxed at the full marginal tax rate. That's the most expensive kind. Capital gains are only 50% taxable. Eligible Canadian dividends benefit from the dividend tax credit, reducing the effective tax rate significantly. So what's the mistake? Holding GICs, bonds, or other interest-bearing investments in a taxable account where they generate fully taxable income year after year. So here's a smart move. Hold interest earning assets in registered accounts like RRSPs and TFSAs where taxes are sheltered. Keep tax efficient assets like Canadian dividend stocks and capital gain focused ETFs in your non-registered account. The result? You reduce your annual tax burden without changing your overall investment strategy. You're not taking on more risk. You're just being smarter about placement. This is the kind of fine tuning most investors miss. And it's one of the simplest ways to legally lower your taxes without changing your goals. Strategy number 5, delay CPP or OAS, but only if it makes sense. Most Canadians know that you can start collecting CPP and OAS as early as age 60 and 65 respectively. But what many don't realize is how much more you can receive and how much tax flexibility you gain by delaying. For every year you delay CPP after 65, your payment increases by 8.4% per year, up to a maximum of 42% more if you wait until age 70. OAS increases 7.2% annually when delayed up to age 70. But this strategy isn't just about getting a bigger check. It's about managing your taxable income more efficiently. And here's why it works. By delaying government benefits, you reduce the amount of taxable income you're forced to take in your early retirement years. This opens the door to strategically drawing down from RSPs or RRIFs during lower income years before CPP and OAS kick in. These early withdrawals can be taxed at lower marginal rates and help you avoid being bumped into higher tax brackets later. Plus, spreading your taxable income more evenly over your lifetime can reduce the risk of OAS clawbacks, which start when your income exceeds roughly $90,000 per year. But this isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. If you have health concerns or other sources of income or a short planning horizon, taking CPP or OAS earlier might still make sense. The key with this delay is with purpose, not by default. A good advisor will be able to model both scenarios for you and show you which one gives you the most value, not just today, but over the next 25 years. Strategy number 6, charitable giving done right. Many retirees want to give back in retirement, whether to faith-based organizations, education, healthcare, or causes that align with their values. But here's where a lot of people leave money on the table. They donate with their checkbook, not their strategy. The Canadian tax system offers extremely generous credits for charitable giving. Up to 75% of your net income can be offset with charitable donation tax credits in a given year. But it gets better. Instead of donating cash, you can donate publicly traded securities like stocks or ETFs in kind. When you do this, you receive a full donation receipt for the market value of the asset, and you avoid paying capital gains tax on any of the growth. This makes it one of the most tax-efficient ways to give, and it can make a meaningful impact both for the charity and for your financial plan. You can also use donor-advised funds for long-term gifting strategies, incorporate charitable giving into your estate plan, and use life insurance to create a long-lasting legacy for causes that you care about. Bottom line, if giving is a part of your values, there's no reason it shouldn't also be part of your tax strategy. Strategy 7, work with a tax-conscious advisor, not just an investment manager. Here's something I see too often. Retirees work with someone to manage their investments, but no one is actively managing their tax exposure. And yet taxes can erode wealth just as quickly, if not faster, than market losses. So you could have a solid portfolio with good returns, but if your income is being taxed inefficiently year after year, that's real money lost. Silent, consistent, compounding damage to your long-term financial health. The difference between a tax smart plan and a tax blind one can be tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars over the course of retirement. A true financial plan doesn't stop at what to invest in. It should answer this: when to withdraw income and from which account, how to minimize taxes on every dollar you withdraw, how to avoid triggering clawbacks or creeping into higher tax brackets, how your investments and income strategy work together, not against each other. That's what working with a tax-focused advisor does. You're not just managing wealth, you're optimizing it, you're protecting it, and most importantly, you're keeping doing more of it. If you've never looked at a retirement plan through the lens of tax efficiency, now is the time. Because the earlier you act, the more options you have. So here you have it, 7 legal proven strategies to help you pay less tax in retirement, keep more of your money, and stretch your income further. You don't need gimmicks, you don't need loopholes, and you certainly don't need to feel overwhelmed by the complexity of the tax system. What you do need is a strategy that's designed specifically for you, your income sources, your goals, and your timeline. If you're a Canadian retiree or heading towards retirement and you want a second set of eyes on your plan, or you're ready to finally understand how to make your money more tax efficient, book a time with me using the link in the description below. Let's make sure your retirement isn't just well funded, it's well structured, because it's not about what you earn, it's about what you keep.